Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for Studio 512. Juneteenth is such an important holiday in Texas. Of course, it's also known as Freedom Day, where on June 19th, 1865, enslaved people were freed. Bastrop, Juneteenth Celebration Committee Chair, Sheila Lowe, joins us today to talk about this weekend's festivities. She started working on this stuff in high school, and now she's been doing the big stuff for the last couple of years. Sheila, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here. Let's, of course, talk first and foremost about why this is such a meaningful celebration. It comes up every year, and I think every single year it deserves a little bit of education.
Yeah. So Juneteenth is very special to the city of Bastrop. Even though it was just declared a federal holiday in 2021, and we've been doing it for almost 40 years as a celebration for our city. Way before that, the citizens of Bastrop and in Bastrop County were celebrating, coming together every summer, having baseball games, cookouts, bake sales, church services, and so it was just a way of neighbors and family coming together and celebrating our freedom.
Mm-hmm. Lovely now that it's a federal holiday as well, that it gets that recognition. I'm glad you brought up church services because gospel music is one of my favorite genres of music, and there's going to be a gospel music celebration.
Yeah. So on Friday night, the 21st, we're having our Bastrop Juneteenth Gospel Celebration. It's in honor of one of our members that passed away tragically in a car accident at the beginning of this year, Rose Clemens. And so we decided to name our scholarship the Bastrop Juneteenth Rose Clemens Scholarship. And she had already started doing work for our scholarship recipients, and she was a big member of the church. And so we just wanted to make sure that we celebrated her and our scholarship recipients, and so we're having a musical on Friday night.
Oh, well, that sounds wonderful. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, but talk to me more about what the scholarship actually does.
So the scholarship will help our recipients. We had 5 this year, which is awesome. We've been able to increase those numbers every year, but it is just to help the kids just a little bit with those extra costs that come through, that their financial aid or that the funding that they've already got in place may not cover, and just to kind of help them get on the way.
Mm-hmm. Kids who are in school.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do they have to be at HBCUs?
No, they don't have to be at HBCUs. We've got kids that are going across the state, which is awesome. But 2 of them we do have that are going to HBCUs. One of them is going to Houston-Tillotson, and the other one is going to school in Louisiana.
Lovely. Okay, and this brings up something else that we're celebrating, which is Bastrop's first Black mayor.
Right. We just, last Thursday night, they just swore in our first Black mayor, Ishmael Harris, for the city of Bastrop. And so it's another reason to celebrate our culture and the things that are happening in Bastrop and the progress that we're making as a community and a city.
Oh, wow. It kind of gives me chills. Breaking glass ceilings, which is so important.
Yes.
Okay, let's get back to the fun stuff.
Okay.
The parade. I know it's going to be a good time.
So the parade is annual. We do it every year. It's at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. Just lots of different floats. We have dance groups. We've got choirs, churches that come through, kids groups that come through. It's just a good time moving down the streets of Bastrop. This year we're going to be going into the park. So we'll start at the high school, go down 2 of the main streets, and then we'll take it straight into the park where the festival will be.
All right. Okay. And then you've got my next question already teed up for me, the Freedom Festival.
Yep. So the Freedom Festival starts immediately after the parade, usually around 11 o'clock, and we've got lots of stuff planned. So lots of kids activities, tug of war, things with the mayor and one of our newest city councilmen, we're going to put a pie in their face.
Oh.
So the kids.
It's always fun.
Yeah, the kids will love that. But
Yeah.
we're also going to be playing a lot of different games, but one of them is lyrically correct, and it's where we have different teams and they try to guess the lyrics to the songs, and they have to do that by singing them. So we've done it before in the past. It was a lot of fun, and so we've designated some more time to it. This year also we've added line dance instruction.
Fun!
These past few weeks we've been working with a young man, Hakeem Felix. He's a local, and he's been doing line dance instruction. And so we're going to have a demonstration during the parade, during the festival, and then we're going to take it on to the street dance that happens later that night.
Wow, that sounds like
Yeah.
a ton of fun. Okay, and then the street dance later that night. This is part of a bigger event?
Yeah, so the street dance happens in historical downtown on Main Street. It starts at 7 o'clock. We have live music that starts at 8 o'clock with Miss Drea and 2-1 Soul. They're a local band, but they keep coming back to us and we love it. We'll be just bringing our lawn chairs, hanging out, dancing on the streets of Bastrop, having a great time and celebrating our freedom.
Well, it sounds like such a good time. Okay, you guys, of course, are the big celebration in Bastrop, but there are a couple of other things going on at different places, and I just wanted to know if you could mention those for
Yeah,
me.
so Thursday on Juneteenth, there is a State of the Black community that's happening at one of our local restaurants, Ham Bones. It starts at 5:30. And then the Kerr Community Center is having an exhibit along with the Bastrop County African American Museum and Freedom Colonies. They're doing something as well.
Okay, and then what's this? The Blue Flame Cruisers.
Oh yeah, the Blue Flame Cruisers is a car club, but they have their annual car show during Juneteenth weekend, the third weekend of June every year, and they're part of our parade, but they actually have their own event that happens at the convention center.
Wonderful. Okay, so many things to see and do. I just wanted to ask real quickly about parking and the cost to get in. I feel like those are the big two things people think about when they want to go to an event.
So the cost is free.
Okay.
All of the Juneteenth related activities are free, so there's no cost associated with that. We have several places to park. They'll be labeled park lot A, B, C, and D, but we ask that people consider street level parking. There's limited parking in the park, so we ask people if they want to get situated before the parade starts, grab their parking place, and then just walk on down to the park.
Sounds good. And all ages friendly?
All ages.
Sounds like a ton of fun to me.
Lots of
what a
fun.
Gospel Choir Night on Friday, and then that all-day party on Saturday. You can learn more by heading to BastropJuneteenth.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Visit Anaheim. Summer travel season is here, and one California destination is flipping the script on how families plan vacations. Visit Anaheim just launched the world's first ever kids travel agency called the Imagine Agency, where kids are in charge of the itinerary. Joining us today is Gavin Doyle, founder of Mickey Visit, here to share how this imaginative, kid-led approach is reshaping the way families experience Anaheim and how your family can join in on the fun. So Gavin, my very first question for you is, Visit Anaheim recently conducted a study on family vacation planning. What did they learn?
Well, first of all, Rosie, thanks for having me so much. And I'm sitting here in the Cambria Hotel in Anaheim, looking out the window at water slides in their pool area. It's the perfect place to talk about a family vacation. And yes, Visit Anaheim did just complete this exciting study, found that 86% of kids want to be more involved in family vacations, and that 82% of parents say that the best vacations are ones where the kids were involved in the planning. So it's time to bring everyone together to that planning table.
Visit Anaheim has actually named you, I should do a little salute here, Chief Imaginagent Officer to help launch the first ever kids travel agency, the Imagine Agency. Lots of fun words to say, but I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
So it's a kid-focused travel agency launched by Visit Anaheim called the Imagine Agency, featuring 6 different bookable itineraries created by the Imagine Agents, kids from Anaheim, that feature really great attractions here like Disneyland and the Anaheim Packing District with 30 plus restaurants, the Anaheim Ducks hockey team, and more.
For people planning a trip to Anaheim, since you've spent so much time there, what are some of your hottest tips?
Absolutely. Well, Anaheim, California is located in the heart of Orange County. It's a perfect home base for visiting Disneyland, the beaches, up to Los Angeles, down to San Diego. And I mentioned Disneyland, the accommodations are all family friendly, built right here in the Disneyland Resort District. And there's things like the Cambria where I'm staying, the Castle Inn and Suites. I would also just say, I mentioned Disneyland. It is the 70th anniversary of Disneyland this year, and they have new and returning beloved entertainment like the Paint the Night Parade, new attractions like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Star Wars Rise of Resistance, and a recently recompleted Downtown Disney District. And it's a great time to visit Disneyland. You can read all about that, all these great activities and restaurants and shops and hotels at imagineagency.com.
Lots of cool stuff to consider for the next family vacation today. Gavin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Go to imagineagency.com to start planning your family vacation and involve your kiddos. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Visit Anaheim. Welcome back. Once the summer hits, Texas Hill Country Wineries do not take a break. They begin serving up refreshing sips and hosting super cool events. Executive Director January Weesey is here to tell us more about what's new. She was just telling me off camera, it's the busiest it's ever been. Holy guacamole.
Really is. It really is.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Talk to us first about how you're expanding, because you say your class is the biggest it's ever been.
Yeah, we just approved last month 7 new members. Like you said, the biggest class we've ever had. Usually it's about 2 or 3 at the most for each membership approval group. And we've been onboarding them. We have all 3 of these wineries that we brought today are brand new members, and making sure that they're on the website and in the brochure and participating in all the events that they want to participate in, and just kind of making sure that they are plugged into everything that we're doing. But we're really excited to have this group of 7. One of them noted that at the membership meeting where we voted them in was at one of the founding member wineries, which was really, really cool.
That is cool. So what number are you up to now?
We're at 69 members.
Wow, that's a lot of places to visit.
It is. Our brochure is, we've added a page or 2 to the brochure.
Don't say. Okay. I do want to ask about what being a member means, because I do feel like we're starting to get to the point in the Hill Country where you throw a rock and you can hit a winery. And that's a wonderful thing, because we're developing that area and it brings great tourism. But what do these wineries get by being a Texas Hill Country Winery member?
Yeah, so THCW is a nonprofit trade association. So when they started, the goal was to drive traffic to the wineries and promote Texas wine and their tasting rooms here in the Hill Country. We've since expanded not only in member numbers, but also what we're doing. We kind of do a lot of networking and industry education on the other side of it. Plus we do all of these events for consumers. So we kind of try to cover both aspects for the wineries. Everything we do is optional participation though. So if some of our events don't fit your business plan for your winery, then you don't have to participate, but you're still on the website and in the brochure and in these big marketing pushes that we're doing for everyone.
And you also have scholarships as well, yes?
We do, yes. All of our passport events and our winemaker dinners, the profits from the dinners and then a portion of the tickets from the passport events goes to our scholarship fund. Over the last 7 years, we've raised about and given away about $107,000 to like 50 students.
Yeah, who are going into the winemaking industry.
Yes, viticulture, enology, hospitality, different certificates, WSET, stuff like that.
That is so neat. Okay, all right, let's get into the nitty gritty. We've got some events coming up.
We do. Yes.
Okay, Barrels and Bites is this weekend. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it starts on Friday. It's a brand new event for us, and it's very similar to the passports that we do throughout the year, but we really wanted to give the consumer an elevated experience. So we have 19 wineries participating, and each one is offering something different, either a barrel tasting or a bites tasting. And so you can go, you have to make reservations at any of them that you want to participate, because they are kind of super intricate experiences, right?
Okay.
They're pairing different wines with different foods. They're taking you into the cellar, letting you taste right out of the barrel. So they need to know how many to expect and different things like that. But it's going to be really cool experiences for everyone.
A bit more intimate too.
Yes.
Yeah, especially with 19 participating.
There'll be a smaller crowd. You'll kind of get that one-on-one, attention from the wineries.
Which I think is always so cool. I love walking away feeling like I've learned something too.
Yeah.
Okay, Siboney is one of your newest member wineries, and they are going to be participating in Barrels and Bites.
They are, yeah. They jumped on board right away. And so they have 3 different wines that they're pairing. We actually brought the Cabernet Franc from Siboney.
And guys, don't worry, I totally guessed how to spell it or how to pronounce it incorrectly. So we're learning right now on live television, Siboney.
Siboney, yes.
Okay, all right.
So Siboney is actually owned by Barbara and Miguel Lacuna. I might have got that wrong, that pronunciation. Barbara's the winemaker, and Siboney is actually a Cuban love song that Miguel's uncle wrote.
Oh,
and
you're
so that's how they
kidding.
named the winery.
What
yeah,
a
it's
sweet,
super
small
special.
world.
Super special.
Okay, and what you brought for us today just to show off is?
Yes, so this is the Cabernet Franc. They are pairing that with house-made lamb meatballs for Barrels and Bites. And then they have 2 other wines that they're pairing with different small bites as well. But this is a great wine, of course, for red meats, cheese boards, kind of make it a summer wine too if you want.
Just hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
Yep, I love it. Okay, and I also want to make sure we talk about the Austin Roadshow. So Barrels and Bites, y'all, is this weekend, but the Austin Roadshow is coming to us. So you actually don't have to go into the Hill Country. You can stay here and still enjoy everything that the Hill Country has to offer.
Exactly. So we realized a couple years ago that not everybody can get out there.
Yeah.
And so we want to bring our wineries to different cities across the state. And this year we're doing Austin, and then later this year we'll do somewhere in DFW. But we are bringing 31 wineries to the Austin Central Library on June 27th.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's coming up too.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. We're trying to make sure we stay on track and get everything set up and taken care of. But we have 31, like I said, 31 wineries. Each will present 3 different wines, and it's a walk around tasting. So you can take that time to taste a couple wines from each winery, one from each, visit with the winery owners, the winemakers. We kind of have, a great crowd.
Yeah, and it kind of like pulls back that veil of like, because wine can get so like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It feels a little
Yeah.
snooty, like that sort of thing. So to be able to talk directly to the winemaker about what they made and I love to have them tell me what notes I should be tasting. So speaking of, let's do that real quick. You brought me a rosé to taste.
I did. So this is from Adego Vino. They are one of the new wineries, and they'll be at the Roadshow as well. They are known for their rosé program, and this is actually their estate rosé from the vineyard there in Gillespie County.
You don't want to hear me say this, but I actually don't like rosé. I love that. Adego Vino. Huh? Okay. All right. I'm going to have to write it down. Lots to keep on the plate January, but I know you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, get your tickets to Barrels and Bites ASAP, just since it's happening this weekend, but you can also get your tickets to the Austin Roadshow. That's coming up just behind it. It's all coming up this summer. Lots to see and do. Learn more at TexasHillCountryWineries.org. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Advanced Pain Care. Hey y'all, going through cancer, of course, can be really challenging, both emotionally and physically. Pain management specialist Dr. Marco Uribe is here to talk to us about how Advanced Pain Care can address specific issues affecting cancer patients. So let's talk about the common types of pain experienced by cancer patients and maybe how that differs from typical pain that somebody else might experience.
Yeah, it's definitely different than your typical pain patient. Cancer pain, is very multifaceted. You have neuropathic pain, which is pain from the nerves when sometimes the tumor is growing or sometimes the cancer is advancing and it's impacting nerves, sending sporadic signals that we can intervene with. There's also nociceptive pain, which is a fancy word for saying, damage to the tissues or damage to the body that can cause these sporadic pain signals to impact you and make you feel that type of pain.
Let's talk about what the different treatment options are that are available for managing cancer pain.
Definitely. There's a lot of different options. You know, with cancer pain, it's the whole patient, like we've talked about. You know, oftentimes one of the cornerstones of therapy is medications, but with cancer patients uniquely, they're oftentimes on a lot of medications that may be the cause of some of their pains.
Right.
So yes, we use medications to the best extent that we can, and that's what they're for patients that are going through this battle. You know, part of my job and my training is to find other unique ways to try and intercept that pain. And some of those are nerve blocks, it's spine procedures or nerve ablations, epidural injections.
You guys have a host of ways to help people in all different types of pain.
Exactly, yeah. So using a whole team is very, very important. You know, it's not just the body that's sick, it's the whole human being, and you know, their experience with their relationships and their mood and their sleep. And so we use an interdisciplinary team approach at Advanced Pain Care with psychology. We communicate with the oncologist, we communicate with you know, the surgical oncologist, the radiation oncologist, all the different therapies that they may be getting from the oncology perspective. We just kind of add in, let's make it one big team. Let's all talk together about how we can best address you.
Absolutely, getting better outcomes for patients who are in pain. Dr. Uribe, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
To learn more about what you could do if pain wasn't holding you back, talk to the doctors at Advanced Pain Care. Go to austinpaindoctor.com to get help managing your pain today. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Advanced Pain Care. Welcome back, everybody. Umlauf Sculpture Garden is such an oasis here in Austin, and they always have really fun events going on. Opening this Wednesday, The Distance Within Us is an exhibition by artist Michael Veliquette. He and Katie Robinson Edwards are joining us to tell us more. And guys, I'm obsessed with his art style, so I'm so excited about this. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us, Rosie.
Of course, always good to see you, Katie. And Michael, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about this exhibit, The Distance Within Us, and your inspiration.
So The Distance Within Us, it's a solo exhibition of around 20 of my low relief paper constructions.
What does low relief mean?
So it means just sort of it comes off the surface.
Okay.
Right? So I build things up. This is an example of the work, one of the works that are in the show.
Guys, this is paper. This is paper. Is that not wild? It looks like it's made with pure gold.
It is. So I use for this all of the works in the show are made with a metallic coated cardstock, sort of like a business card like material. So it's heavyweight. And so the way I sort of build them and construct them, they look very sculptural and they look very dimensional.
Well, but I'm also seeing the intricacy of the design, and it tells me that you have extreme attention to detail, and you must also have an arsenal of little tools that can help you along the way.
I do, yeah. I mean, I've been working with paper for about 20 years, and so, you know, you develop a sort of knowledge of a material from working with something for so long. But I know how to do things with paper just from the experience, but I do have an arsenal of a lot of tools. I have a lot of scissors.
A lot of you don't say.
Yep.
Well, we're hoping to learn a little something in just a second, and we're going to talk about one of the things that you really excel at, which is paper quilling. But before we get there, Katie, I want to ask you about just why y'all wanted to do this sort of exhibit and how excited you are about it.
We are thrilled. We had been planning this exhibition for a little while, actually, and I think COVID and various things slowed us down. I was thrilled. I've known about Michael's work for many years, but the idea of teaching people who come to our sculpture garden, which is normally full of bronze, still full of bronze, because that's what Charles Umlauf made, but to see durable artworks made out of paper, completely different medium from a master of the craft, is really fun for people. And it's indoors and it's air conditioned.
We love to hear that during a Texas summer. Okay, so paper quilling. I want to make sure people understand this because there were a few folks in the office this morning who did not, but I think it's like wrapping it around a ton of times.
It is, yes.
Yeah, okay, so these are examples of paper quilling, which is like so intricate, so beautiful. You said actually maybe even too difficult to do on camera.
It is, yeah. So paper
takes a little bit more time than 3-4 minutes.
It does. This took me about 6 hours.
Oh, well, and you're a master, so it would take me 6 years.
Yeah.
He's like, yes. It would.
They do take a long time.
How do you create paper quilling?
So quilling is one of the paper crafts of like people are probably familiar with like origami and paper weaving. So quilling is just one of those crafts that you can do with paper. Specifically what it is, it's rolling strips of paper.
Okay.
And so it's something that comes, it was developed in the Middle Ages.
Okay.
When paper first came to Europe.
And they had a lot of extra time?
They had a lot of extra time. They were trimming books, and they would end up with these long strips of paper, and it was such a precious commodity, they came up with something to do with it. And so quilling is also known as paper filigree, which people might have heard of, like metal filigree,
Yeah,
which is sort
I
of
have.
wrapping metal in a way to create these elaborate techniques. And so essentially what it is you roll long strips of paper, and then you can crimp them in different ways to create these what are called open coil forms or closed coil forms, and create a variety of shapes.
Wow.
And then you take those shapes and compose them on a surface.
That is gorgeous. So you're a paper crafting artist. It's not just quilling that we do around here, for example, the other piece that we've seen, but you did want to bring a small demo, and you said, well, it's not going to take the longest time on the planet to show you at least how a flower is
Sure,
made.
yeah. I thought I would show one paper craft because people understand. One of the cool things about working with paper is people know it. It's something that they touch every day, right? It doesn't have a lot of mystery as a material, but you can, and a lot of these are materials that people probably have at home, and you really only need scissors and glue to make a really simple paper flower.
I love to hear that because we all have that sitting in the hobby drawer.
Yeah, exactly. And so a paper flower making is its own art form, but this is a form of paper flowers that are made through quilling. And so what you do is you start with two strips of paper. They can be one thin and one thicker. And then for the center, you take the one strip and you cut a series of notches in it going this way. Or you can also get these kind of fancy scissors. This is one that I brought, one that I brought from my arsenal.
Katie's just as impressed as I am.
Just to show, because you can get.
Wow.
Yeah, you
that
can
cuts
really,
down on the time.
It really does, right? And so then you take this and you roll it up into a little compact little center here, and you glue it. And then for the petals, you just cut. And it can be loose. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just cut a series of scallop shapes, and then you'll also want to put texture in those.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then they just get rolled up together, and I'll do the final roll up here.
And so you've at least here, and I'm fascinated by this little bottle of glue. Got to get me one of those.
It is. It's a needle tip glue bottle.
It
makes all the difference.
Everybody. Okay, and I just have to show these scissors one more time, everybody. Can you get this at a traditional hobby store?
You can, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and they're good for
That's
paper
crazy.
crafts and for cutting herbs.
Clever.
You can get them at kitchen supply stores too.
Okay, so that's at least the middle of the flower, and then we just keep working out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then once this is in, you can start. This is sort of like a tiny little bud here, but you can press them down.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
there you go.
Okay, so Katie, just real quickly before we let y'all go, we want to push everybody to the events happening around Michael.
We do. Wednesday night is his big opening.
Yay.
June 11th, 6 to 8 p.m., free and open to the public. And we would love to have you, and it's a great chance to meet him because he will have to go back to Wisconsin soon. And then also Thursday night, there's just 2 spots left in your craft where he's demonstrating how to do this, and people will make something themselves.
2 spots.
And then we've got a free public tour on June 20th, and then on the 13th of July, we have Family Day, and we'll be working on paper crafts and story time.
Wonderful, and this is going to be around for a minute, so you do want to rush out and meet Michael, but you can make several plans over the course of the summer because this stays around till August.
It does, and every Friday at 11 a.m. with admission, we'll be doing free public tours of his exhibition.
Lovely.
So come to the air-conditioned space at the Umlauf.
We'd love to hear that. All right, congratulations,
Thank you.
Michael, and
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing some of your craft
My
with
pleasure.
us. Guys, this exhibit opens, as you heard, on Wednesday with a free and open to the public reception and runs through August 22nd with a lot of fun things happening in between. Learn more right now at umlaufsculpture.org. Hey, we are happy to be able to offer you some help if you're out there searching for jobs. KXAN has partnered with ZipRecruiter to help you find thousands of job openings in Austin and around the country. Just go to kxan.com/jobs where you can search thousands of new postings every single day. Check it out right now and get started on the path to your next career.
segment is sponsored by Plexiderm.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, we have a birthday every single year, and I think it's on that day that you really start thinking, oh no, the time is passing. But that may not necessarily be the reason that you're looking a little bit older when you take a little peek in the mirror. It's a virtual world. We're just seeing a whole lot more of ourselves nowadays. And nobody knows that better than our friend Scott DeFalco, who's going to tell us a little bit more about Plexiderm this morning. Scott, hello.
Rosie, great to be with you. Yeah, those birthdays, they seem to come quicker every year. The number goes up, and people have the misconception that just because they're getting older, or maybe that they have too many wrinkles, that they can't deal with them. And that's just not true. With Plexiderm's new rapid reduction serum, we're going to reduce the appearance of all the key signs of aging in less than 10 minutes, Rosie. It is the in the moment, I need results now product, and it's completely topical. That's why people love it, but we're going to jump right into the before and after pictures so people can see how effective this product will be.
Absolutely. In fact, this is one of my favorite things to do is when you're on Amazon or something like that, I want to see the before and afters. So this is going to be one of my favorite versions.
The proof isn't in the pudding, it's in the pictures.
It's in the pictures. Okay, we got Laura, we got Benny, we got Rose.
Three lovely ladies right here that are dealing with issues, especially around the mouth. You can see it with Penny, and you can imagine how she felt after she put Plexiderm's rapid reduction serum on. I mean, it's a dramatic improvement, and to see it on your screen is pretty amazing, but to be there and witness it in person like I was, Rosie, it's mind-blowing. The people feel so much better about themselves, and all they do is put a small amount on that problem area, wait 10 minutes, and they're seeing the results you're seeing on the screen.
Absolutely. It's incredible that that's not retouched. It's incredible that we're just talking product photos. It's crazy stuff. Let's talk about Maria, Rita, Samantha.
This is actually my favorite montage, Rosie, because the reason why people originally turned to Plexiderm was for the three-dimensional bag. Now, these are three different ladies in three completely different age groups, spanning about 25 years. They have the dark circles, they have the under eye bags, but it didn't matter how old or young they were or the issues that they had. You can see what Plexiderm did for them. It completely got rid of the dark circles and the under eye bag. So people can get these issues at any age, really, even in their 20s, depending on genetics, lifestyle choices. Maybe they have allergies, didn't get enough sleep, but it does not matter with Plexiderm. It does not discriminate. We take care of all age groups for men and women.
I'm glad you brought up men as well, because our next montage includes Mona, Carol, and now we've got a man in the mix. We've got Don.
My guy, Don, I love Don, and he had the forehead lines that he was dealing with, the deep set forehead lines, Mona with the under eye bags, and Carol with the laugh lines around her eyes and those crow's feet. I want to talk to the guys right now, Rosie, because there's a misconception out there, again, for the men that, they can't get female products, or, that they shouldn't use them and this and that. That is out the window, fellas. It's okay for you to take care of yourself and look better. And for that, you're going to want to use products like this, or what people normally refer to as women's products. They're not just for women, they're for everybody. The men make up a big part of our fan base with Plexiderm, because with our new serum, it goes on clear. So there's no chalky white residue, so men can put it on. It's like a moisturizer. It goes right into your skin. So that's one of the reasons why men love it. And for the females out there, the number one question I get, the number one question I get is, do you have any free samples? And the second question I get is, does this work with makeup? And again, it works great with makeup because it goes on clear. So ladies, if you're watching right now, put Plexiderm on a clean, dry face, wait 10 minutes, then use oil-free makeup as normal. I want to stress that, because anything that has oil in it will counteract the effectiveness of Plexiderm. So put on oil-free makeup, and you're going to get up to 10 hours with the results, Rosie. That's another thing people love about this product.
Amazing. Okay, our last little set here. Ellen, Robin, Jill.
These are three different ladies again. This is a perfect example of how Plexiderm's new serum is working on all the key signs of aging. They had more than one issue they were dealing with. So it's not just the under eye bag. Again, it's the forehead lines, it's the crow's feet, it's those pesky laugh lines around your mouth, and also a real underappreciated part of your body that with aging is an issue, Rosie, loose skin under your neck. That's a big one. And the reason why this serum is so effective is because we've added peptides and collagen to the formula. So we're talking moisture in your skin, we're talking firmness. That's why you're seeing that nice, youthful, glowing look in the before and afters. And again, that's why this product is lasting so long, up to 10 hours with the results. As I stated earlier, that's because of the collagen we've put in the new formula.
Let's talk about other reasons why Plexiderm has such a huge fan base.
Number one, for me, or at least from what I've heard, completely topical. No painful injections or expensive doctor visits. People don't have to go through that. There's three things in life I'm afraid of, Rosie. Number one is sharks. Number two are snakes. Number three are needles. So when you look online and they say, oh, you can do minimally invasive procedures, Anything that involves putting a needle into my face is majorly invasive. So the fact that we don't have to do that with this product is the number one thing people love about it the most. The fact that it works so quickly and the fact that it lasts so long. That's really what's differentiating this product.
Not only that, you guys always try to make it special. You have something special going on right now.
This is our biggest discount ever. So this is the Plexiderm 6 application trial pack. Okay, I'm holding it in my hand right here. You can see the 6 applications. So right now, Rosie, this is $14.95 plus free shipping with a 30-day money-back guarantee from the day you receive it. But trust me, you're not going to need to use that. You're going to love this product. We also, if you want to just dive into getting a full bottle, we have 50% off a full bottle of Plexiderm, or maybe if you've been a user before and want to start up again, it's really 2 different options that are great. But this trial pack, if you just want to try to see how effective it'll be for you, it's very affordable. Again, $14.95 plus free shipping. The only way to get that deal is to call that 1-800 number that's right there on your screen. That's 1-800-727-6719. You are a phone call away from forgetting about the number on your birthday. You're going to look 10 to 20 years younger in just 10 minutes.
Makes it easy to say yes, Scott. We always appreciate your time and your charisma. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Great to be with you as always, Rosie.
You can try Plexiderm today for just $14.95 with no automatic shipping by visiting plexidermtrial.com or by calling 1-800-727-6719. You will also receive free shipping by ordering right now. Again, go to plexidermtrial.com or call 1-800-727-6719. This segment is sponsored by Plexiderm.
We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin.